We all have a social battery, but have you ever really stopped to think about how yours works? In this explainer, we're going to dive into 5 key signs that your internal energy system might be wired just a little differently than you think.
So let me paint you a picture. You've just left a party. And look, you had a good time. You saw your friends, you laughed, but the second you walk through your front door, you just feel completely wiped out. Not just tired, but depleted, like you just ran a mental marathon. Sound familiar?
Well, there's actually a name for that feeling. It's called a social hangover. It's that deep sense of mental and emotional exhaustion that hits you after a lot of social interaction. And honestly, it's a huge clue about how your personal energy system is set up.
Okay, so let's get into it. What exactly is this social battery we're talking about anyway?
It's really a fantastic analogy. Think of it just like your phone's battery. Certain things you do will drain the charge right down, while other things are what you need to power it back up. And here's the key. The whole secret to managing your energy is simply knowing what drains you and what recharges you.
And this is where we see the 2 main operating systems. For introverts, big social events tend to drain that battery, and they really need some alone time to recharge. But for extroverts, it's the total opposite. Being around other people is what actually charges them up. And it's so important to remember, neither one is better or worse. It's just a fundamental difference in how we're all wired.
So with that in mind, let's get to the heart of this explainer. We're going to walk through 5 very specific signs that your social battery might be the type that drains a bit more quickly in social settings. Just see if any of these resonate with you.
First up, you are all about deep, meaningful conversations. This has nothing to do with being shy or antisocial. Not at all. It's about the kind of interaction you're having. For some of us, small talk isn't just kind of boring, it's actively draining.
And it makes sense, right? That surface-level chit-chat can feel like static. It just uses up your battery without giving you that real connection you're looking for. You crave conversations that have some real substance, and you usually find those in quieter, one-on-one moments, not in a loud, crowded room.
Okay, sign number 2 is all about that post-event recovery. For you, being alone after a social gathering might not just be a preference, it might feel like an absolute necessity.
Yeah, this recharge isn't a nice to have, it's completely non-negotiable. It's how you get your battery from, say, 5% all the way back up to 100%. Trying to power through and jump from one social thing to the next without that quiet time, that is a surefire recipe for total social burnout.
All right, let's talk about sign number 3, which can sometimes be really misunderstood by other people. Spontaneity isn't always your friend when it comes to your social energy.
Think about it like this. You mentally budget a certain amount of social energy for your day. An unexpected phone call or a long chat that you weren't planning for, well, that's like an unplanned expense. It can throw your whole budget out of whack. It's not that you don't want to talk to that person, it's that you just hadn't set aside the energy for it.
Now this next one, this is not a sign of weakness at all. In fact, it's a sign of incredible self-awareness. You are someone who actively manages your social life just to protect your own energy.
This is just you being the smart manager of your own energy. You know that stacking social events back to back will leave you completely wiped, so you plan around it. And leaving a party when you're still having fun, that isn't rude. It's a strategic move to protect your well-being for the next day. It's smart.
And finally, our 5th sign. This is one that happens in real time. Have you ever noticed yourself kind of slowly disengaging during a long party or get-together? This is what we call the slow fade.
You show up, you're feeling great, you're at 100%, you're chatting, you're laughing, you're engaged. But then, maybe 2 hours in, you find yourself on the edge of the group just kind of listening. That's not you being bored or unhappy. That's your social battery hitting 15% and automatically switching into low power mode to save what little juice is left.
Now, after hearing all of these signs, it is so easy to start thinking, oh no, is there something wrong with me? But this next point is absolutely the most important one we're going to make today.
I want you to really let that sink in. This isn't a flaw. It's not a bug in your programming. It's just how you're built. Your goal shouldn't be to change your fundamental operating system, but to learn how to work with it so you can absolutely thrive.
So now that you're armed with all this knowledge, let's turn the focus back to you, because understanding how your battery works is the first step. The next and most crucial step is learning how to charge it your way.
And that's really our final thought for you. Maybe it's carving out a quiet evening with a good book, maybe it's going for a solo walk in nature, or just saying no to one extra invitation. Understanding your own energy truly is a superpower. So,
How are you going to use it?